Welcome back as the Crunch gets set for the Binghamton Devils. First game of the week for the Crunch after a 3-3 weekend this past week. Crunch wrapping up the weekend on Sunday against the Rochester Americans. Comeback effort, 5-4 shootout loss in Rochester. On Countdown to Crunch Time, I'm Lukas Favale, joined by Crunch assistant coach Ken Klee, presented by Supercuts. Ken, that last game on Sunday was a comeback effort, 5-4 loss. What did you see overall in the game against Rochester on Sunday?
Yeah, I thought our guys had a great effort. Anytime you're down 2 with 5 minutes to go, it's great to get points, and I think it just showed what a resilient group we have, that the game's never over and we're going to keep fighting until the last whistle. Yeah,
it was another comeback effort, and it's the second 3-3 weekend in a row that we've seen the Crunch come back in the third period. A couple weeks ago was in Bridgeport, the Crunch rally to win in the third, this time against a team you're obviously battling for playoff position. You get those 2 goals late in the third and come back, like you said. That shows a resilient punch here in Syracuse.
Yeah, it's great. There's no question, we practice the guys hard, and they know it, and when we have results like we did in those, like you said, those 2 3-3s, the guys see that there are a lot of benefits to us being in good shape and make sure we're working hard and staying sharp all the way through games.
And one of the guys who led the comeback, he had the 2 goals in the third period, is defenseman Eric Chernak. He had 2 goals all season, and he gets both goals in the third period to tie the game. He's been obviously a solid player all year for the Crunch. He's got a plus 29 rating, which is among the tops in the league. What have you seen from him as his season continues to develop for the rookie Eric Chernak?
Well, I think it's been a great season. Rookie year, you never know kind of how guys are going to go. We know they're going to have their ups and downs, but Cherney's just been a steady presence for us. I think offensively, his game, like you said, the 2 goals, hopefully it'll spark a little confidence in him that he can make plays with the puck, because he is skilled. He's obviously a solid defender, but I think he's got offensive skills he can bring as well.
Yeah, and he has been, as we said, so good defensively, and he's had a couple close calls with some wraparound attempts and things like that, but he gets the 2 goals in the third period. Another guy who kind of sparked that was Olivier Aubry, who set up that first goal, and he has been a solid player for the Crunch since he's come here a couple months ago. Overall, where have you seen his game kind of develop over the last 2 months with Syracuse?
Yeah, I think Archie's game's been good. He, like you said, he's trying to find his way, figure out where he fits into our group, but he definitely has an offensive flair. He's got a skill set that makes him unique, and he's good at one time in the puck and getting pucks to net and looking for offensive opportunities. So I think for him, it's just good. Just make sure you're responsible in your own zone and being solid, and then Coach, I know would love to put him out there in more situations.
Crunch are getting set for the Binghamton Devils here on this Wednesday night. First game of the week, 3 games coming up for the Crunch. It was on Sunday, Ben Thomas gets suspended for an incident in the game. He's been solid for the Crunch as well. He's got a couple points the last few games, and with Jamie McBain injured, head coach Ben Grew was talking about him stepping up into more prominent role here the last week or so. What have you seen from Ben Thomas over the last couple weeks and all season?
Yeah, I think Benny's, like you said, it's a good chance with Boehner out. It's a good chance for Benny to step in, get some more minutes, get some power play time, get some more PK time. So, his game's has been improving. That's what we want. I think it's just about a consistency factor. I know he knows it, and we certainly know it with him. And when he's solid, when he's skating, when he's being consistent, then his game is good. And
the Crunch are without him tonight. He's suspended, and Jamie McBain is still injured. So, kind of getting thinner on the back end, which is obviously where you're in charge of. So there's a guy here on a PTO, TJ Malasan, who will make his Crunch debut tonight. Haven't really seen him yet, obviously, but what do we know, if anything, about the new Crunch defenseman?
Yeah, I think he's pretty offensively gifted and skilled. Just like you said, I haven't seen him yet, but reading his stats, he's been putting up a lot of numbers in Norfolk where he was this year, and obviously just fitting in our group. We'll just make sure he fits into our structure. We'll go over that with him today and make sure he's ready to go.
And obviously down a couple defensemen who have been regulars all year. So how does that affect the rest of the rotation? Obviously he's going to be in there, but now more important minutes for Eric Chernak and I guess Matt Spencer and down the list. So how does that kind of affect your rotation tonight?
Yeah, it'll be kind of see who's going tonight, and like you said, it's about managing their minutes, making sure guys are being put in good situations so they can succeed. So I think that's a big challenge for me tonight, is to make sure I'm doing that and make sure our guys are playing well.
Crunch are getting set for the Binghamton Devils here tonight, and they got their goaltender back from Tampa Bay, at least for now, Louis Domingue, who's back with Crunch. He's been so good in his 16 games in Syracuse this season, so he is back here for the Crunch now. Good to get him back, I'm sure, and Eddie Pasquale and Connor Ingram have also been terrific all year, but it's good to have Louis back, at least for the time being.
Yeah, Louis was great for us when he was here before, and I think he just gives our whole team a boost that he's able to make key saves at key times, as well as our other goalies have. But I think for Louis, it's definitely a boost for us, and hopefully we can take advantage.
It's the Crunch and the Devils here tonight. The teams played just a couple weeks ago. It was a tight game, 3-2. Crunch won. They scored 3 goals in just a couple of minutes. Obviously, much improved Binghamton team from where we saw them a few months ago to to the game just a couple weeks back. What do you remember from that game just a few weeks ago when the Crunch had a rally against Binghamton?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think they're playing much better hockey than maybe they did earlier in the year. I think part of that is they got a couple new players, and they seem to be playing looser. They're, unfortunately, they know where they're at in the standings, but that allows guys to know that they're playing for their contracts next year and make sure they play well. And they just seem to be a looser group, and they seem to be, they were definitely on pucks and going more.
Crunch have a potential playoff clinching scenario today with a win and a Laval Rocket loss in regulation. The Crunch would secure a berth in the Calder Cup playoffs. It's still pretty early in the year to be talking about all that, but does it help or hurt, or does it make a difference clinching this early in the year, or at least having the chance to clinch this early?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I mean, we know that our game's been pretty good and has put us in a good spot, but still at the end of the day, come April 14th, we need to make sure that our game's in order and we're ready to go for playoffs. And that's we're kind of gearing towards that, and we're just focusing on each day, trying to make sure we're doing those things so that we are ready to go. All
right, we're looking forward to tonight as the Crunch take on the Binghamton Devils here on this Wednesday night. This is Crunch assistant coach Klee, presented by Supercuts. Ken, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
You bet. Thanks.